Hi, friends. This week we're going to look at the teaching principle of asking questions that encourage discussion. It says meaningful class discussions occur when students interact with the teacher and with each other, asking relevant questions that provide opportunities for multiple students to respond. So part of helping students fulfill their role as a learner is to learn how to interact and engage with one another and their comments, rather than just like a one-on-one with the teacher. So in the following lesson for D&C 95, it provides an opportunity to practice this principle of learning how to teach the students to engage with each other and not just with you as a teacher. So in this lesson, if you scroll down about halfway through, you'll see that there is this box here where it says ask questions that encourage discussion. The following questions could be used to create a meaningful class discussion. And then it gives the two questions. What are some different ways God might choose to bless us with his power through the temple? And how do you think receiving God's power through his temple would impact you at home, school, or in other aspects of your life? So again, this is an opportunity for students to respond or to engage in a conversation or discussion. So what that might look like, if we click on those links there, it is the skill is to resist the tendency to respond to every comment and question and to invite instead the students to respond. So with that, there is the skill of asking follow-up questions. So what you might do in the class is you present one of those questions and you have a student that responds. And rather than saying, hey, that's great, and here's my thoughts on that, and okay, who's next? Just say thank you for that comment, and then kind of kick it over to another student to engage with that rather than you. So the follow-up questions might be something like, who can share an experience related to what Gary just said? Or what surprised you or impressed you about Lucinda's comment? Who can also testify of what Peter just said? So rather than you responding or expounding on what a student said, you just follow up, say, thank you so much for that comment. That was wonderful. Hey, Sherry, why don't you tell us a little bit more, or what would you add to what Gary just said? All right. In the ideas for variety section, there is a method or a variety called keep the conversation going that you could also use here. It gives you some sentence starters, conversation starters that you could hand out to the students. And what this would look like is this is more like a set apart, like, hey, we are going to practice having a discussion about the gospel. So you can set it up in the class just like that. I'm going to ask you some questions to get the conversation going. And then I just want to discuss with you guys and practice these conversations. So you'll hand out to the students these sheets here with these sentence starters, and then just ask the question, and then invite the students to practice, using these starters to keep the conversation going. Hey, that reminds me of when I had that experience, or I agree because of X, Y, and Z. So these are just ways for them to learn how to keep a conversation going in class, and a way to, again, help them take responsibility for their learning. This also helps them pay attention to what the other students are saying. Sometimes students won't listen to each other. They'll listen to maybe you as a teacher, but if someone else is making a comment, they might not pay attention. But with this technique or with this skill, they're now engaging with each other in a more meaningful way. All right. I will also include some other lessons for the ideas for the lessons coming up this week in the email. But thank you for all that you do, and have a good week.